Hi guys, and welcome back, or just welcome if you're here for the first time. This will be my, I believe, 13th KnitCast. Is that right? Well, somewhere around there. And it's probably not going to be a very long one today because I've had limited time for knitting, unfortunately, the past week. But I did do a little something. Now, if memory serves me correct, I did tell you that I was going to put out the pattern for my my summer socks, these ones, and I have not yet done that, and that's mainly because I wanted to take some more pictures for the pattern. So I'm hoping to get that done now during this weekend so that I can finish editing that pattern and put it out there, and it will be available on Ravelry and on Etsy as well. So I have been dabbling a bit with the text and working on that, so that's almost done. It's more about the pictures. I want some more pictures to add in. Let's see, I did show you last time that I had started on the next size of my Bohemian Cardigan, but true to form I did of course miscount the number of stitches that I needed. I do not know why I do that with this pattern, but I always do. In my defense, it's a lot of stitches, could be why. So I ended up having to rip back the whole thing. I had knitted about this far, and I was starting the next pattern that comes around here, and realized that my stitch count was off, and I went back and I recounted a couple of times, and I realized that I didn't have the correct number of stitches cast on. So I had to rip back the whole thing and redo it, and this time I think I got the correct number of stitches. We'll see. I'm back at the same spot where you where the first pattern comes, so yay, fingers crossed. Okay, and it's not that visible, I think, but I did change this color, not the yellow one in the middle, but this it's an orange color now. I think I had a pink one first, so I decided to make a small change there. But yeah, so I have been putting in some effort into this one, and as it is quite a lot of stitches, it does take quite a lot of time to do this. So I've been knitting on that the past week, getting back to where I was when I realized I had the wrong stitch count. And let's see what else I had. It's been one of those weeks where work has been taking precedence of everything else. So as for knitting at home, I didn't do much more than that Bohemian Cardigan at the beginning of it, but I have been transportation knitting quite a lot. And if you remember this yarn, let's see, just there, the Regia, Shachelmai Regia, that I was using to knit my, or to have my transportation knits or my movie knits. You know, kind of a small, easy project that you don't have to look at all the time. So I've been working on that more when I've been commuting, because there's a lot of train and yeah, a lot of train rides. So I actually finished the first one of these, and I'm quite happy with the results. I really like this color combination. It's like I don't know, it makes me want to have some minty chocolate and a latte for some reason. And so I'm loving that. It's not very thick. It's a very thin yarn, and so it's kind of a easy thin sock that you could wear on a, you know, on a summer evening when it's kind of chilly. But I think it also would work for even cooler temperatures. So I finished the first one of these, and I have actually not only cast on the second one. No second sock syndrome in here, let me tell you. I very rarely have that. I do enjoy finishing all my pairs of socks. So I started the second one, and I have passed the heel, and I'm working on the gusset, and I think, yeah, I did all the decreases that I'm going to do as well, so it's pretty much just straightforward knitting now until I finish the foot and yeah, the toe decreasing. So this one will probably maybe get finished this weekend, or at least during next week's commuting, because it's going to be the same thing next week. A lot of commuting, and as it is summer and a lot of people are on vacation, you have a lot of room on the train, so you know, I can just have a seat next to me as well and put my knitting stash and my computer bags and everything, you know, just spread out and do some knitting. And I'm really looking forward to finishing these and taking the pictures, doing some a little photo shoot, I think, with these. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's happening right now. And let's see what else. Well, I did actually cast on one more knitting project, and if you remember, I talked about craving like a smaller project, that because it's a lot of big projects right now, and they take a lot of time, and it's kind of nice to have a smaller project that you can just, you know, work on, and it'll be, you know, done in a week maybe, or maybe 2 weeks, and that you can kind of, you can see your progress way more clearly than you can with these really large pieces. And what I've done is I have actually cast on a project that has been on my to-do list, so to speak, for wow, I think a couple of years, and that I haven't taken the time for. Now, I have done this before, the same pattern, but it was a Christmas present, so it wasn't for me. But this time I'm making them for myself, and it is, I know you can't tell yet, but it is actually the Viper Pilot socks, which I absolutely love. It's from Battlestar Galactica. I don't know if you've seen that. I think I've actually just seen the pilot movie they made, and I think the more recent pilot movie, and I have seen, I think, like one episode maybe of the series, and watching that is also at the top of my list. I'm going to go buy those DVDs soon, I think. But yeah, so this pattern is inspired from that TV series, and it's the Viper Pilots, and I am doing this in Östergötland's Visjögarn, which is a 2-ply wool yarn that I love. I use this for a lot of my projects, and when I made these as a Christmas present, it was for my sister actually. She's also a sci-fi nerd just like me, and then I made them in a dark bluish greenish yarn that I don't recall the name of, but and I didn't have quite what I had in mind for a bluish variety of these when I wanted to do this, but I kept coming back to this purple because it's like you know, the night sky basically, and just before dawn, you know, when it isn't pitch black anymore, but it's starting to turn more purple. And that kind of, you know, spoke to me. I wanted that, but as I kind of got stuck on the night sky theme, I also wanted the sparkles, so I have added some sparkles to it. I don't know if you can tell that on camera. Can you see that? It is sparkly as well. So that is my, I guess you could say that this is my reward after a very, very, very rough week. I have finally cast on the Viper Pilot socks for myself because, god damn it, I'm worth it. Yeah, I'll probably be knitting mostly on these, I think, this weekend. And yeah, we'll see. There's no rush with these. It's just a project that I've been longing to do, and that I've been kind of yeah, I just been waiting to start it, and I'm very happy to do that now. So yeah, and here's the pattern. It's by Glenna C. It looks, this is basically what they will look like when they're finished. I don't know if you can see that. It's not very good pictures of print out because I bought the pattern online, and I'm not sure where to find it. Could possibly have been on Ravelry actually, but I think if you just Google the pattern name, Viper Pilot Socks, you will be able to find it. And yeah, so that's basically what I've been knitting this week. I haven't bought any yarn either. I haven't, yeah, like I said, work has been taking precedence this week. But I did get something in my mailbox, and if you remember, I talked about these snowmen that I make and these eyes that are like the black half beads. And when buying these in Sweden from my local craft shop, they are very, very expensive. They're like, I don't know, is it 50 crowns? 70? For like 15 or 17 of these. It was just ridiculous price. I don't know, maybe it wasn't that much, but it was very, very expensive. And then I came across these half beads on eBay, and it was like, I think 14 Swedish crowns for 50, 60, 70, it was a lot of them. And that's like 140 in euros and pretty much the same in dollars. So the cost is a huge difference. However, these beads were supposed to arrive in June, more than a month ago, and they never showed up. So I was starting to suspect that the package, they're usually very, very tiny packets that I get. I know I showed you last week the buttons, and these kind of teeny tiny packages, and this would be even smaller. So I thought that this package had just simply disappeared in the mail because it was so small. It could just have, I don't know, slipped in between something else and just be gone totally. But as it happened, it actually showed up during last week. All of a sudden it was there in my mailbox, and so it found its way to me, and this is the size of it. As you can see, it's the back sides that are white. The beads themselves, it's like a half bead, are black, and it's these that I use for eyes for my snowman. As you can see, there's quite a lot of them. It's a tiny, tiny bag, but it's quite a lot of beads inside it. And when I got this and I opened this, it just dawned on me that this has probably been stuck in customs, actually, for weeks, because looking at this and, you know, touching it, and it had like a small plastic bag that it was packed inside, so you could kind of feel the beady thing inside. And I'm guessing that customs got this package, and, you know, look, it probably looked like pills. That's what I'm thinking. They probably thought it was drugs, and that's why it was stuck in customs for so long. Well, that's my guess of what happened, since it took so long to arrive for me. So, but I guess that finally they have decided it was safe to send it on, which I'm very happy about. So they finally arrived, and I can now make an army of tiny snowmen. I don't know, I don't remember how many is in this bag, but it's a lot, so I can make a lot of snowmen. And so I'm very happy about this actually finding its way to me at last, at long last. And yeah, that's it for this week actually. Like I said, I haven't had that much knitting time. Most of it has been while commuting, and in which I did these socks. And yeah, so I don't know what next week is going to be like. It's, as from the looks of it, it's probably going to be very busy as well. So I may not have that much to show next week either, or who knows, maybe I will be on a sock mission of all times and just churning out socks while commuting, which would be good because I need to renew my stash of finished pair of socks as well before fall and winter. So okay, well, that's it for today. I hope you are having a lovely time and a lot of knitting time, more than I have right now. And I would love to see some of your knits actually. So feel free to post a picture or a link to your, if you have a YouTube channel or I don't know, an Instagram or so. Oh, by the way, you should follow me on Instagram because I post quite a lot of pictures of knitting there. Knitting, foods and training, that's basically the gist of it. So if you like, feel free to follow me there as well. I'll post a link down below. And I would love to see your accounts if you have any as well, or just a picture of what you're working on right now. So have a good weekend, have a good week, and I will see you next time. Bye!